Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Mahanti and you are watching Padarth Vigyan. So students, in this video I'll solve a question from the chapter Electric Charge and Field, which is on the screen. So let's get started. The question is a thin glass rod is bent into a semicircle of radius small r. A charge plus q is uniformly distributed along the upper half and a charge minus q is uniformly distributed along the lower half as shown in the figure. The electric field E at the point P, in this point P is the center of the semicircle, is dash. So we have four options given and we have to choose the correct alternative. So students, look at the diagram here. Let me explain you what is the meaning of this question. It is given that we have a very thin glass rod which is bent in the form of a semicircle. O is the midpoint of the semicircle. So OA is the upper half, OB is the lower half of the semicircle. In the upper half, we have a charge, a positive charge Q, which is uniformly distributed. Similarly, in the lower half, an equal amount of negative charge, means a charge of minus Q is uniformly distributed. P is the center of the semicircle and we have to find expression for electric field at this point P. So students, this is the case of linear charge distribution, and in both the halves we have equal magnitude of charge q and q, but in the upper half we have positive charge, in the lower half we have negative charge. So since this is the case of linear charge distribution, we have to find what is the linear charge density, and for that we need to find what is the length of OA or length of OB. And we know that the length of OA is same as length of OB. Length of OA is equal to the length of OB, and this is equal to how much? This is 1/4 of the circumference of a complete circle. So if r is the radius of the circle, then 2 pi r is the circumference, and since we are talking about only 1/4 of that length, because OA is 1/4 of a semicircle, so the length of OA will be how much? 2 pi r by 4, that is equal to pi r by 2. So length of OA and length of OB are equal, that is pi r by 2. And then we have to find the linear charge density. So the linear charge density will be how much? The linear charge density is equal to lambda, that is equal to the total charge q. I have written the magnitude of charge divided by the length of that segment. Length is pi r by 2, so it will be 2q by pi r. So we got that the linear charge density lambda is how much? 2q by pi r. So let me write here, lambda is equal to 2q by pi r, and we have to find the electric field at this point P. So for this purpose I have to consider a small element. So let me write here, consider a small element, consider a small element of thickness dx, at an angular position, theta, with respect to OP, and angular thickness d theta, or I can say angular width d theta. So let me first draw this line OP. So this is the baseline, and I have to choose a small element of thickness dx at an angular position theta with respect to OP, and I will choose in the upper half first. So I'll choose an element here. This is the element. It has some thickness, and the thickness is dx, and the angular position of this element, this is a very small thickness element. The angular position of this element with respect to the line OP is theta. Means if I join this line, this angle will be theta, and the angular thickness is d theta. Means if I join the two ends of the element at this point P, then this angle will be d theta. Is that clear? So now tell me, what will be the thickness of this element? What will be the thickness of this element? This thickness will be r d theta, which is dx. Okay, I have written that the thickness is dx, and this dx will be r d theta. Okay, so tell me, if the thickness is r d theta, then what will be the value of charge present on this element? So charge present on the element, charge present on the element will be, let us say, dq, and dq is equal to lambda into the thickness is r d theta. So lambda r d theta will be the magnitude of charge present on that small element, and this element is chosen in the upper half, so it has positive charge, and due to this positive charge, the electric field at the point P will be directed in this direction, and let us say this is DE1 vector. Is that clear? So tell me, what will be the expression for this DE1? The magnitude of DE1 will be how much? It will be K into dq divided by r square, because the distance of the element from this point P is equal to the radius. So in place of dq, I can write lambda r d theta divided by r square. So that is equal to k lambda by r into d theta. Is that clear? Similarly, I will consider another element, another identical element in the lower half of the semicircle. Suppose I will choose an element here in the lower half, exactly at the same angular position and at the same angular separation. This angle is d theta and this angle is theta, and this element will have an equal amount of negative charge. Is that clear? And the electric field due to this negative element, this negative charge at the point P will be directed towards the negative charge. So this is the direction of DE2 vector. For a positive charge, electric field is away from it. For a negative charge, electric field is towards it. So DE1 is directed along this direction, but DE2 is directed along this direction towards the negative charge. If this angle is theta, let me extend this line. If this angle is theta, then this angle is also theta. Now if I resolve, let me resolve the vector. If I resolve DE1 vector, I will get DE1 cos theta towards right and DE1 sin theta in the vertically downward direction. DE1 sin theta in the vertically downward direction. Similarly, let us resolve DE2 vector. So if you resolve DE2 vector, this angle I have taken as theta, then you will get DE2 cos theta towards left and DE2 sin theta in the vertically downward direction. Is that clear? Now you can see that the magnitude of dE1 and dE2 are equal. They have the same magnitude but different direction. So dE2 also has the same magnitude k lambda d theta divided by r. It means dE1 cos theta and dE2 cos theta have equal magnitude, opposite direction. dE1 cos theta, dE2 cos theta have equal magnitude, opposite direction. So they will cancel each other. dE1 cos theta and dE2 cos theta cancels each other, but their vertical components, the sin theta components, they are added up. So I have taken element from both the halves of the semicircle. So the net electric field at P due to the two elements will be how much? dE is equal to dE1 sin theta plus dE2 sin theta. And since dE1 dE2 have the same value, I can write this is as 2 dE1 sin theta. Is that clear? And what is dE1? dE1 is k lambda d theta divided by r, and then I have to write sin theta here. Is that clear? So we have to then find what is the total electric field. The total electric field at P due to the semicircle will be how much? E is equal to integration of dE from 0 to E, and that is equal to integration of this quantity 2k lambda d theta divided by r into sin theta. And here all these I will take all the quantities which are constant. 2 is constant, k constant, lambda is constant, r is also constant. So let us take them outside. So 2k lambda by r is taken outside, and I will integrate sin theta d theta, and here what will be the value of limit of theta? Theta will be from 0 to pi by 2, because if you choose the element somewhere here, then the angle will be 0 degree, and if you can choose the element maximum up to this point. So when you choose the element here, then the angle will be how much? The angle will be pi by 2. Is that clear? So the limit will be from 0 to pi by 2. So that is equal to 2, what is k? Let me put the value of k later, 2k lambda by r. Integration of sin theta d theta will be minus of cos theta from 0 to pi by 2. That is equal to 2k lambda by r. I can write this as cos theta, and now I will just interchange the limits. The lower limit will be pi by 2, upper limit will be 0, because I have removed the negative sign. That's why I have changed the order of the limit. So that is equal to 2k lambda by r cos 0 minus cos pi by 2. Cos 0 is 1, cos pi by 2 is 0. So this value will be equal to 1. So that is equal to 2k lambda by r, and it is equal to 2 into k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and here I have r, and what is lambda? Lambda is 2q divided by pi r. So 2 into 2 is 4, 4 by 4 cancels, so we'll get q divided by pi square epsilon naught r square, q by pi square epsilon naught r square. So this is the expression for the electric field at the point P. So now let us go back to the options and let us see which option is the correct one. So we got that the first option A is the correct one. The value of electric field at the point P is how much? It is Q divided by pi square epsilon naught r square. So students, in this way you can solve this question. Hopefully you have understood the derivation. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment section. So again, in the next classes I will bring some such kind of questions. So till then, have a nice day and bye bye.